Hello guys, today we will discuss the our second concurrency control technique, which is timestamp based protocol. So in this video I'm going to just take the introduction of timestamp based protocol. I will cover this topic in two videos, so guys, just taking only introduction here. So what is exactly timestamp based protocol? Let's see. It says it is used to order conflict transaction. Where we have to use this? When we have some conflict transaction and we want to order them, then I'm gonna use this timestamp based protocol. But what is exactly the conflict transaction? Which is those transaction which needs same data items for execution. That says कि suppose we have two transactions, T1 and T2. Okay guys, it is using a variable, b variable, and it is also using a variable or b variable, or we can say a and b variable, anything. Okay, so that means they are using the same variables. So these are the conflict transactions. So remove the inconsistency from this transaction, we have to order this conflict transaction. So we use the timestamp based protocol to order this kind of transactions. Okay guys, let's move to the another point. Timestamp or the unique number is assigned to every TI transaction. In this we provide the timestamp or a unique number to every TI, that means every transactions before it start execution, which is denoted by TSTI. That means suppose we have these two transactions. Okay, so we have to give them a name. So I just say it is a transaction 1 and this is a transaction 2 to differentiate these two transactions. So we provide a unique number to them. So this is called a timestamp, that is providing a unique number. Timestamp is a unique number for uniquely identifying these two transactions. Okay guys, and we denote it by TSTI. That means timestamp. Suppose I am giving this it a one timestamp. Okay, so I will write one transaction T1. Okay guys, if I give 2, this is transaction T2 for this is 2 is a timestamp for it. Okay, this always be unique. Okay guys, two timestamp will not have the same timestamp or a unique number. Okay guys, so they will not have any value same. After that, suppose for any two transaction Ti and Tj, TSTI is greater than and TS we will read it as for any two transactions. We have two transactions, that is Ti and Tj. Then it says the timestamp of Ti is greater than timestamp of Tj, or timestamp of Ti is less than the timestamp of Tj. Okay guys, that means two transactions will not have the same timestamp. They will have always a less than or greater than, but they will not have the same timestamp. Okay guys, that is not equal. They will not have the equal sign. Okay, after that, let's see the another point. The timestamp can be given by using system clock and the logical counter. Up there are two ways of providing the timestamp, which is system clock. That means the system which we were using for the database will be given that time of the system to every transaction. When it comes for the execution, it provides the timestamp of to that transaction. Suppose this transaction comes at 10, so it will provide 10 it. If this transaction come at 11, so it will provide it 11. Okay, so this is the way they can use it. And the another one is a logical counter, which is this one. Suppose transaction comes first, then it is given as a 1. If then another transaction, then it will be 2. Then another transaction, that it will be 3. Okay, so this depends on the timing basis also. The logical counter get incremented one by one. Now another term is here, the two timestamps are associated with each data item of a database R. That means the variable which are going to be used in the transactions, they will also have two timestamps. Transaction will also have the timestamp, but the data variable or data item will also have the two timestamp, which is our write timestamp A. That means it is equal to the timestamp of most recent transaction that execute WA, that is a write operation on A successfully. It says suppose we have three transactions T1, T2, T3. Okay guys, and it is using like we are performing write operation on A, then this perform write operation on A, then this perform write operation on A. So this is the variable A. So we will write the timestamp write stamp in on way a variable, like this is write which transaction is recently updated, this one transaction 3 successfully. That means this is a 3a which says timestamp of 3, that is transaction 3 has written on variable a or has performed write operation on a recently or in the last successfully, we can say in any manner. Okay, in the same we have the another timestamp on variable a which is read timestamp a, which says the same thing. That means we have a transaction t1 t2 t3, this is the read operation on a, this is the read operation on a, and this is the read operation on a. So who have recently updated this one or read this transaction t1, that means read 1 and this is the on a, that means transaction 1 has performed read operation on a recently. Okay guys, so it will be read like this. So this is the basic introduction of timestamp based protocol. In the next video we will perform some cases on the timestamp based protocol and complete that technique. Okay guys, so get ready with that, and please remember ki we maintain a file or a block where we have to update this all the variables timestamp. Okay guys, so this is all about the timestamp based protocol. And guys, please like and share this video if these videos are helping you. Thank you and take care.